This MSI GF63 is a budget gaming laptop sporting RTX4060 and it costs under $1,000? What? Good, cheap and gaming usually don't go in the same sentence. So here's my experience with this GF63 for the past 3 months. And here are the specs. Let me break it down for you into 4 easy to follow sections. And as we go, please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you think you can beat me in Fortnite.
Roman does consumer tips.
If this is the first time we've met, my name is Roman and I specialize in comfort and ergonomics of gadgets. Because powerful or not, it's the end user's hands-on experience that makes the final call for any product. I also noticed that only 10% of you watching are subscribed. And we gotta fix this, so here's the deal. If this video was useful, by the end of this video, please subscribe to help us grow this channel, and in return, I promise to keep improving the channel and the content. Is that a deal? And now, back to the show. Overall quality of the unit feels standard to what you normally get from an MSI laptop. It's not superior nor the worst out there. I find it to be rigid and solid build. It's just stunning in the back. Beautiful design, plenty of airflow, and you can see those heat pipes. Really neat. With some questions for this aluminum top lid choice. It's just too easy to scratch and scuff. This is a result of me barely hitting it with the power cord on the third day of owning it. So you will want to keep it away from any sharp-edged objects in your backpack. Though GF63 is called thin, in reality, it's far from it. Especially when compared, let's say, with Razer laptops that are for sure thinner and more powerful than GF63. For example, Razer Blade 15, which is the same size, is only 17mm thick, while GF63 is 21.6mm. And this is not where bigger means better. That's why you pay premium for Razer laptops. Under $1,000 and RTX4060, Razer is gone from this competition.
Not a whole lot of wiggle room there.
Nope. But don't worry, it's pretty compact for its size and price, so you'll have no trouble packing it into your backpack. I would be more concerned about weight, as it's 4.1 pounds or almost 2 kilos of load without this 120-watt charger, which surprisingly is pretty compact and light for a gaming computer. Due to the size, the overall ergonomics are good and I had no issue with using it as intended, apart from some annoying bits you will learn about in the next section. GF63 has enough real estate for gaming sessions without any wrist strain. And the same goes for the trackpad. Despite it being smaller than usual, it does the job pretty well, though I still prefer a mouse. Now let's talk about the keyboard. This is where MSI decided to cut corners. Which is a shame because many budget laptops nowadays have better keyboards. And this is just a poor choice of a keyboard. Decide for yourself. And this is how it compares to Lenovo Flex keyboard. But still, by the end of the day, this keyboard does what it's made for and works well in games. I felt like it's a well-built keyboard with large, well-spaced keys, with a poor choice of switches as these are too clicky. Typing on it is a nightmare in the beginning, especially when you have other laptops to compare it with, or if you are into custom keyboards. This will just kill your ears. As with any laptop out there, GF63 has some stuff I wish they made differently. The headphone jack is probably the most annoying for most of us, as they decided to go with this classic split. I personally don't remember when was the last time I saw a headset with a split cable like this. So to make it usable, you would have to invest into one of these adapters. I will leave a link in the description if you need one. Next, I wish they would try to have more ports on the left side of the chassis, as they managed to jam everything on the right. So when you have to use your ports on the go, you often will find yourself in a place with not enough table area for the mouse. due to the cables. And I bet they could try to move this to the back just like they did with HDMI port. Speaking of HDMI, it's capped at 30 frames per second in 4K, which is too low in 2024 for RTX4060 and practically any device that supports 4K. You are clearly being told that this is a budget machine, so know your place, no ifs or buts. Well, at least this USB-C is capable of supporting DisplayPort 1.4. The monitor hinge is super solid, which is a plus, but it struggles with motion range. I wish they would choose a 180-degree hinge instead to allow for flexible usage when you want to watch a movie in a half-sitting position or have it mounted on a holder at your desk. By the way, is that only me who's mounting laptops like that? Let me know in the comments. Next are fingerprints. They are all over the top lid, but barely any on the bottom side due to rigid plastic materials. And this makes me wonder if they added brushed aluminum to make it look better, or they had to, for example, for weight reduction. As for my taste, I think the plastic from the bottom cover would do better in this particular setup. This inside is aluminum as well, and as you guessed, it's covered in fingerprints and hand grease. And this one is a fun observation. This laptop is so budget they didn't include Velcro for charging cable. Cha-ching, MSI style. You got to suffer. I think benchmark is an exaggeration here, but here it is. As expected, it's just average. Well, while average nowadays is 9700, I still think 7100 is pretty good for this laptop, taking into account its price. And even with this below average performance, it still does pretty well in Fortnite at medium to high settings. So you're not sacrificing much in graphics and still getting that crisp 100 FPS performance from your Fortnite. And let's quickly touch base on technical side of this laptop. For the price, it's a decent mediocre display. You won't get 4K graphics since it's only 1080p, and there's nothing close to OLED brightness as it only has 250 nits, but it will be sufficient for your day-to-day gaming even in bright rooms. So battery is an average gaming laptop battery. It's not great, it's not bad, but you don't buy these laptops for battery life. I've seen reports of people reporting 2.5 to 5 hours of battery usage. Again, it all depends on your brightness levels or how heavy the game you are playing is. For me personally, it lasts around 5 hours as expected in a mixed usage scenario. Sound quality is something I was surprised about because it has really good sound. It's not the loudest out there, but again, it definitely beats some of the more premium machines I've tested on this channel. And there's just so many settings you can tweak for the sound to make it custom for anything you do. Surprisingly, even the fan noise in games is not as bad as you would expect. I've seen worse from laptops that cost double as much. It's nothing surprising, but this laptop lets you play games with a decent FPS and decent resolution. Alright, so since it's a budget laptop, I don't go too hard on the processor or RAM choices. I get it, you get what you pay for. Which in my case, this laptop has proven to be great for video editing and occasional gaming on the go. I had to buy something quickly, with no time to wait, and was really blown away by the value you get from this machine. Yes, it may suck when compared with other models out there, but having 144 FPS, matte IPS panel and RTX4060 under the hood for less than $1,000 is certainly a big factor to consider. Anything else with similar specs will cost you at least 25% more on the market today. And if you want a nicer processor or slightly slimmer chassis, it's gonna cost you even more. So I think GF63 is in perfect equilibrium between price and value. Its main downside is probably its 12th Gen i5 processor. And my question for it is, how long will it last? And not in terms of physical lifespan, but in terms of operational capacity in 3 years. Will it be able to run programs and games in 3 years? That's a big question to keep in mind, as it's already a couple of generations behind of what's out there. Today, in January 2024, we are already talking about 14th gen of Intel chipsets. So the big question, should you buy one? The answer is depends. If you need a laptop to last you for, let's say, 3 years and still be capable of running current software and current games, I would pay a bit more and get something with the current generation of processors. If you need a burner machine for a year or so, then GF63 would do that just right. And if you're stuck choosing between several laptops, let us know in the comments what you need them for, so we can guide you around. And don't forget about our deal, and smash those like and subscribe buttons before you leave. And do check out these Legion Go and Steam Deck OLED videos over here. On this note, spend smart and Godspeed. See you in the comments.